I finally watched Zootopia 2, and what can I say? First of all, I didn't watch Zootopia 2 because I currently live in Europe currently, and will be living in Europe for the next few months. And the film here is called Zootropolis, and as I googled, I found out that there is this zoo in Copenhagen, which is in Denmark, that pretty much trademarked the name Zootopia in Europe, so Disney cannot officially use the title Zootopia in Europe, so it's called Zootropolis in Europe. So and even the original voice actors dubbed their lines for European markets, for UK and Ireland, and other European countries use UK Ireland version, English version I mean. So the voice actors themselves dubbed Zootopia as Zootropolis. So I watched it in English screening, obviously, because I don't speak the local language. It's kind of hard, and I prefer original anyway. So yeah, it's called Zootropolis here, but I'm gonna say Zootopia because Zootopia just sounds much better. And it's also a reference to a book called Utopia. So, but let's not concentrate too much on the title. Zootropolis, the title that absolutely sucks. So I think it was a very good movie. I mean, it definitely delivers what it's supposed to deliver. It's a nice, fun adventure with our favorite characters, with some very good message about, you know, prejudice, xenophobia, racism, any sort of bigotry is bad. That you should not judge a person by who this person, I mean, by her, his origin. You cannot judge a person because a person is a reptile and not a mammal. Just like, for example, it's obviously a metaphor for real life racism when people are being discriminated and judged based on their nationality, their skin color, and etc., etc. So in that regard, the movie delivers a pretty good message, I think. The only problem is that the lynxes, I mean, the movie portrays lynxes in a pretty bad way. I mean, movie doesn't wish to paint all lynxes as bad, but it kind of comes off this way, to be honest. But you know, it's totally not what the movie wants us to think, that lynxes are bad. Apart from them, the message is very good. Also, the main theme, the relationship between Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, kind of. The movie is about that we should not close ourselves up. We should be more open, more sincere with each other, open up our emotions and trust each other. And yeah, that's also a very good message. It's so two main messages are that prejudice, xenophobia, racism are bad, and that we should all live in unity because we are different, but at the end of the day, all our differences do not make us too different. We're still compatible, and we all have the shared dreams and goals, and we can achieve them only if we work together. The second is you should be open with people around you, with your family, with your friends, but we should not be afraid to share our thoughts, our emotions and fears, and this will make this will make our lives happier, and this will make the society around us a better place. This message is conveyed through the relationship of Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, and while I absolutely enjoy that, you probably can't see the problem here. Just like Zootopia 2 has the typical problems of the Disney sequel of recent years, and the problems of Disney sequels of recent years are that the songs are bad. I'm joking about the songs. The problem is that sequels are usually almost exactly the same as the originals. They try to be exactly the same as the original, but to some bigger scale. Like, for example, Inside Out 2, it's like the first Inside Out, but bigger. They added more emotions, but its core, its ideas, its plot structure is very similar, which I think is not a big problem since you can't really do much with the Inside Out format. And Zootopia is also the same. It's basically the same as the first one, structure-wise. So the two main messages of the first Zootopia are again prejudice and xenophobia, racism are bad. In the first movie, it was prejudice against carnivores. In the second movie, against reptiles. But ultimately, it is the same. Prejudice is bad. The same message delivered in a slightly different way. And we see the relationship between Judy and Hobbs developing in the first movie, how they open up to each other, and the movie ends up saying that we should be open to each other, we should accept each other, etc., etc. So the second movie does exactly the same as the first movie. I mean, I'm not really complaining about that, since when I was in middle school, when the first Zootopia came out back in March 2016, March the 3rd in my country, and I watched it on Sunday, March the 6th. The screening started at about 1:50 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. I'm good at remembering dates, so I was a middle school kid, and I absolutely loved the first Zootopia. I was a huge fan of that, so naturally I'm not complaining that Zootopia 2 is almost exactly as Zootopia 1. I mean, it works, it ultimately works. Yes, Zootopia 2 could be a bit bolder, could show us more, could be more creative, but it works. It's a very strong emotional movie which invokes some very strong emotional response. It is well written, in my opinion, not as good as the first one, but still well written. It's basically a slightly worse version of the first one, but it doesn't mean the second Zootopia is not good, because the first one was very good, in my opinion. So overall, just like the first Zootopia, but slightly worse. The writing is slightly poor, and it's not as funny. I think it's not as funny as the first one, although there are a lot of pretty good jokes and a lot of unexpected references, like the reference to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, for example. A lot of people say it's unexpected. Yeah, it is pretty unexpected, to be honest. You would not expect The Shining reference in a Disney cartoon, but it is there. And I feel like the movie went pretty much borderline with all the costumes, with it, gazelle outfit, especially in the final scene when she performs that song Zoo, which I think is a bit weaker than Try Everything. But yeah, I think it was a bit walking on the edge of the knife with this outfits, and with Gazelle being, pretty hot, and yeah, but still remains PG. And overall, it is a very strong 8 out of 10, especially considering the recent Disney movies weren't really that good, in my opinion. I mean, Walt Disney Animation Studios movies weren't really that good. As for Pixar, I haven't seen Elio yet, but I think Inside Out 2 and Elemental were both good movies, and Elemental was really good in my opinion, and it's very underrated in my opinion. So as for Walt Disney Animation Studios, I mean, you can really see that Zootopia 2 was supposed to be a full theatrical movie, made it. The animation is good, the background is good, there is nothing too innovative, nothing too fantastic, but it's good, it's good quality 3D animation, unlike Moana 2, which you clearly feel the episodic nature of Moana 2 in the way it's structured, in the way it's written, etc., etc. So, yes, I think it was good. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. The relationship between Judy and Nick, I mean, they didn't outright say that they're dating. They probably, some executive in Disney said that we cannot have a bunny and a fox dating, but so many hints on that, so many moments. Yeah. Also, another interesting thing, in my screening there were almost no kids, teenagers and adults, so I assume the movie is very popular among older audiences, which is pretty cool. These movies are good, and Zootopia 2 certainly good. Yeah. So thanks for watching this, and bye.